Hey everybody, my name is Jonathan Easley of Western Bigfoot Exploration, and I'm going to take you on the entire hike to the Patterson Gimlin film site right now. Your vehicle, slowly turn the camera around to not give you motion sickness. This is bermed off, that's why they call it the berm. Now, if you've seen the movie Willow Creek, they also start their hike right here. I thought it was kind of a cheesy movie, but it was well made for the most part. And I think even if you watch the trailer, you will see that she does this kind of spinny thing in her flannel shirt here. But anyway, it's about a 1.5 mile hike, and you know, it's not a difficult hike by any means. If you're in fairly decent shape, we've had people that are in their 90s make it down to the film site. We've had people that are, you know, almost like about 350 pounds make it there with the struggle. So it is possible. I would say it's a fairly moderate hike. So we're just walking down now. This used to all be part of that same road. And they had to berm it off because, well, you'll see there's a couple accidents that happened here in the road and made it too dangerous for people to drive down. But it must have been a nice, luxurious thing to be able to cut all of this out of your trail. But those days are before mine. So the information I'm just going to kind of be giving you on this has been learned by me from a lot of different people, a few books, a few times of coming down here with people like Rowdy Kelly of the Bluff Creek Project, Robert Laderman, author of the Bluff Creek Project, and Ian Carton. There's a lot of other people that have made great contributions to everything that's going on down here as part of rediscovering the Patterson Gimlin film site and also maintaining it. There's a bunch of cameras that are placed down there, and these guys spend money out of their own pockets. It costs a lot to buy these lithium batteries, memory cards, gas to come down here and repeatedly check the cameras. And no, they don't have a Bigfoot on their cameras yet, but they do have things like the Humboldt Martin, and for a long time they were the only people that had the Humboldt Martin on camera. They made the news and everything. Now this is the washout here. This is the reason you can't drive your car down anymore. In another video of mine, you have Rowdy Kelly explaining how he had to kind of even this out. If you fall down here, you're just absolutely toast. I'll turn the camera slowly and show you. It was way down there. So he had to kind of flatten this out to get some horses down there for an episode of Finding Bigfoot. There was a guy that used to try and just keep driving this trail up until some guy almost lost his trailer, slid down, and had to be pulled out with some pretty pain in the butt operation. So we're just still headed on down, and up here to the left was kind of interesting. We were walking down in Glen, happened to find a little cutaway where there's some animal bones. It looks like a mountain lion killing there. There's still a spine. I'll show that in another video of mine. But boy, it's a warm afternoon here in July. Hello to you too. All the animals, as you walk along the trail, they announce your presence. But I was saying it's a pretty hot afternoon in July. I just ran all the way up here to get this footage. I do have a group that is down there. They're down there. Rowdy's giving them a great tour of the Patterson site. My opinion, if anybody ever wants to come out here to the Patterson Gimlin film site, you can just look up the Bluff Creek Project guys on Facebook, send them a message, and they'd be more than happy to give you directions. And every once in a while, they'll even show up and guide you down. I make no promises on their behalf, but they did it for me when I initially came down. And I notice how much they love showing people the film site. And when I show people the film site, it really, I don't know, it's kind of fulfilling. You see someone see it for the first time, and you see this sunny sandbar from 1967 all of a sudden start to reappear before their eyes, even though it's a total jungle now. And that's always a neat feeling to see someone finally click and go, oh, wow, this looks just like the film site, even though it's a total jungle, once you pick out those artifacts. There's a lot of people that can't come down. You know, there's people from Europe that have watched my videos and are very much into it. But plane ticket to Northern California and a camping trip into the middle of a very remote wilderness just isn't in the cards for them. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I ran all the way back up to the top of the trailhead. I want people to know what they're getting into before they do as well. This part of the trail gets really hot. You just feel the heat radiating. The good part about this is that you have a lot of berry bushes around here. This section, Rowdy was showing everybody where you can eat all kinds of berries. I'm filming this on my phone because last time with all the lighting changes, it's really hard to keep up with my camera, and I ended up with a lot of blurred motion footage. And you know, you pull out your phone and it all does it for you in 4K, but this is where we're starting to arrive to the forest floor, and the dynamics of the plants change. You have all these ferns, and it really starts to turn into what you imagine maybe a place where Bigfoot would live. Let's cross this. I've seen maybe a dozen people fall at this crossing, either here or just above. It's a few steep steps, and we're up. This is the Alex Petikoff Memorial Fall here, where he infamously took a little tumble that everybody seems to remember for some reason. So walking through these ferns, you can feel the temperature change. Though the temperature drops, the humidity picks up a little bit, and I don't know, it kind of feels good, at least until you work up a good sweat. But now look how thick this is. I mean, this is a path that's stomped out by just a bunch of people, and it's still so thick that you could just walk to the side and basically be hidden completely from anything that's trying to find you. This is a neat thing for people that both believe in the existence of Bigfoot or don't believe, because there's skeptics that come out here all the time. It is considered one of the most controversial pieces of film in human history. I think the consensus of most people is that it's probably the second most controversial film footage after the JFK. JFK had so many absolute professionals and also skilled amateurs ripping it apart. The Patterson Gimlin film has had a lot, but for some reason, since it's not a known species, it's subject to a different, people don't take it seriously the same way, the people that maybe should. Now this, if you look back, this is a trail camera placed by the Bluff Creek Project. It's pretty hidden, and they got some great shots at some mountain lions walking right through here. So I guess be careful wherever you stop and pee on this trail. You had every member of the CIA looking at the JFK film, people from the FBI, forensic analysts, video analysts. I mean, everything you can possibly think of the most professional of levels. And the Patterson Gimlin film has gotten some very professional attention, but I don't think it's what it deserves. And I noticed that a lot of these professionals, instead of using their scientific methods to critique the film, they'll just take one look at it and go, well, that's fake because it has to be. I mean, they don't offer any kind of their expertise based on their professional skill set. They always should. Wouldn't it be easy to debunk the Patterson Gimlin film if you were just a complete professional in your field. Your field was maybe videography. I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever be solved, but I think it's real. There's lots of reasons. Now we're coming down to the forest floor. You used to be able to drive down into here. You'd be able to cut out everything we just hiked, and there's something called the bat boxes down here. And there's other people that think that that used to be the Patterson Gimlin film site, but it's not. If you turn around here, you see the PG trail. So we're going to follow this trail. This is the part that sometimes gets people a little creeped out, and you know, I don't blame them. There's a camera up here to the right somewhere. I'll point it out when I see it. And there's the Bluff Creek Project has film footage, like people walking through here. There was one with the lady, she walks through. About 15 minutes later, a big old mountain lion walks behind her. Walks through the same shot, I'm sorry. And we just follow this path. As you can see, I mean, it's followable, but the first time down here, I walked past that sign because some idiots shot it out. They just shot at the sign until it fell off. And I walked all the way down to the creek and took the most savage route possible all the way down. You know, sliced up shins and ankles, beat up knees, and I didn't even find the film site. It's not easy to find the directions that you're going to get from any member of the Bluff Creek Project, or even myself, whoever you reach out to. They're very difficult to give because there's no real indicators other than creeks and makeshift trails. And, you know, sometime I was told, oh, we put ribbons up, and the ribbons had fallen off in some sort of storm, I guess, before I came up here. So it took me 2 tries to get to the Patterson Gimlin film myself. Now, in 1967, there was no need for a trail like this. None of these trees were here. None of this growth was here. This was all gray washout, and with the creek running through it, much like you see in the video. And Roger and Bob rode their horses down a road that kind of parallels this up here. There are times where you can see a remnants of it, especially by the film site. You see a remnants of it. Poor researcher Damon Irons was walking that old road that Roger and Bob took and kicked up a hornet's nest and got stung like 12 times or something like that. So it's a very wild area. Don't forget where you are. Not that he did, but he was just setting the example for you guys, I guess. Now we're approaching the creek, and usually the creek kind of does a little bifurcation here. There's a big shift in this creek. Now it just runs like this. We're just gonna cross, try not to eat it like Roger Patterson did, running across the creek just like this after Patty. And we turn up here. This is the part where I'm telling you that it's really hard to give directions to. How would you know to turn there? So I guess now that the creek isn't bifurcated, it's easier to give directions, just to say, hey, listen, just cross the creek, make a right, and look for this trail right here. Now we're almost there. We get up to the film site, you're going to see a group of people that I came down with initially. And we are almost there. right around the bend here. And here is where, turn the camera slowly. There's a stump. It's right here through these trees. I believe that stump is the stump that Patty hid behind, or was unintentionally hiding behind. She was squatting down, possibly drinking from the river, when Roger and Bob came across. She didn't hear them because the creek noise, 1, 2, the wind was blowing the other way, and Roger and Bob's horses were completely concealed by the stump that she was kind of squatting behind. When she stands up, Patterson's horse blows up over there on the other side. He falls off. He grabs his camera out of his satchel, kind of fights with the horse. By the time he runs over the other side of this creek, Patty's walking right kind of over here. And you notice he kind of starts walking a little slow, and Roger picks up the pace. He stands right there. He films those opening scenes right here where she's walking. Then the camera cuts, and let's see, which way does this go? The camera cuts, and he runs across the creek, and I'm sorry, those opening shots are right about here. He's standing right here at those ferns, and then she walks over this way. I did a lot of blabbering on this, and might have to cut a few things out, but the information's all there. She walks like this. These markers indicate she stops and turns. And right where Aaron is standing, and Ian and Alex, that's where Roger was right there. Zoom out, it's like a 3-second run to there. Roger was very close. Patty continued walking here. She walked right out between those stumps way out there. Now the stumps in the video are still present. When you look at the film, you're going to see this. This is the big stump. You're going to see what they call the smiley face stump, although it's not very smiley anymore. He rode it away. Then you got this stump back here. You have this large tree there with all the woodpecker holes. Then you have that maple next to it that's also in the video. Get right here. This maple with the crook, and as Rowdy taught me, the crook really never moves on a tree. The tree grows around it. This is the Patterson Gimlin film site. That was the hike there. Thanks everybody. Jonathan Easley, Western Bigfoot Exploration. I don't know what you're supposed to say. Like and subscribe.